All right, hello, everyone. This is Cultists. All right, new podcast for WZMB, okay? My name is Bryce. You might recognize me from my show, It's a Bee Thing, and I'm here with my friend.
This is DJ Ein from Aboard the Bebop.
Okay, we wanted to start this podcast because we sit and yap about media literacy and, like, different forms of TV and film basically all the time. And so, obviously, we have to get a microphone and record it because everyone just wants to hear us talk.
Yep.
Yeah, basically. And so, we actually do have a plan for this. We want to talk about, like, the importance of understanding and placing, like, depth into the media that you're watching and consuming. And also recognizing, like, what am I not getting from, like, the TV space right now? So the first episode today, we want to talk about, like, our childhood media and teen and tween media. So, we're going to tell you our top fives, actually, first.
Yeah.
Of what we watched when, like, we were kids and why we think that they're so good. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, okay. Do you want to do alternating?
Shoot.
Or just do all at once? And then...
Do all at once.
Okay. So, my first one, this is in no order. We've got The Amazing World of Gumball. Mm-hmm. Transformers Prime.
Classic.
Owl House.
It's so good.
Mystery Inc. And then pretty much any of the Batman the Animated Series shows.
Well, yes. And why?
So, Gumball is hilarious. I think the humor was very ahead of its time. I like it very much for the humor. There's not really a bigger meaning to it.
They have some good episodes, I feel like, that cover, like, serious topics.
They do. But, like, most of those episodes, and most of the show is really about being yourself. Mm-hmm. That sounds really basic, but that's really what it is.
What's the storyline with the glowing person in the peanut shell? Isn't there something?
Penny.
Yes.
So, yeah, Penny's whole thing is Gumball's girlfriend.
Yes.
Penny, for, like, the first 2 or 3 seasons, was literally in a shell. Mm-hmm. And then there was an episode where she comes out of her shell, and it turns out that, like, in like, a later episode, her whole family comes out of the shell for a day.
Aww.
But they're all, like, very beautiful people, but they can, like, shapeshift. It's a whole analogy of, like, she was very static when she was in her shell, but now she can be herself.
That's so sweet, and Gumball still loves her.
Yes,
and the family
it's really cool.
It has a great family dynamic.
They really do, honestly. Richard, peak dad.
Peak dad, one of the best television dads. We gotta talk about television dads one day.
That would be good. I think that's a good one.
Any other comments?
Transformers Prime. So I'm a big Transformers fan. It's really hard to talk about if you don't know anything about it. It's really good for that. It kind of is tween media, kind of geared towards that age group of, like, 9 to 12, 13. I would say, like, 15 is the latest it's geared towards, at least. It's just really good. I don't really have another reason. It's just a really good childhood show. It's hard to talk about, and I really want to rewatch it again. I rewatched it like a year ago. Anyways, Owl House. Owl House is really good.
One of the greatest pieces of animated media to come out in the last 10 years.
Yes. And yes, that storyline-wise, amazing.
Impeccable.
I'd say it's on par with Gravity Falls, but...
Made by the same person, might even be better in terms of storyline.
Yes. I would have to rewatch Owl House again. I sadly never finished it. I got to, like, the last... I just only needed to watch, like, the last third of Owl House.
I did finish it, and if you guys don't know the storyline, Disney did cancel the final season, so they had to do a 5-episode, like, long-running special, because the show covers basically fighting a fascist government. And
it's really cool.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And, like, conformism and all of these things, it's really amazing. Has so much representation, made by the same people who made Gravity Falls, so obviously.
And this is a weird sentence. I'm not one for queer media. Like, I don't, let me rephrase. I don't watch a lot of queer media. That's not a plus in my mind. That's just an aspect of a show.
I wouldn't even say most people consider Owl House queer media, TLDR. It does have... It has later become that because of the fandom aligns so much with the characters and this, like, idea of not
the
fitting
main characters
in.
are gay.
And the main characters are...
And there's a non-binary person.
Yes, there's a non-binary person, and the main character is bisexual, but it is not what the show is about.
I mean, okay, yes.
So, I think that's why I wouldn't call it queer media.
Queer adjacent. Let's go with
yes.
that. Anyways. And then Mystery Inc. Honestly, this is kind of like both Mystery Inc. and Let's Go Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
What's New Scooby-Doo? But I want to put Mystery Inc. because I think the movies are peak. Even the crossover ones. The WWE one is underrated as heck.
Number one Scooby-Doo fan here.
Honestly,
it's me.
Yeah. But Mystery Inc. really good, great animation. I don't think that's talked about enough.
No.
Great animation, good stories. Really keeps the heart of the show intact. It's just really good. Honestly,
prequel, and you never get to see. This is so silly. I know probably most people don't watch as many cartoons as we watch. All I do is like.
Yeah, we're babies.
Cartoons? No. No, I love animation, if you don't know.
I also love animation.
That's what I was like going to school for before I came here. Crazy.
Loser.
But What's New Scooby-Doo. That's the best episodic, I think, Scooby-Doo show. We both agree on this. And Mystery Inc. actually has an underlying storyline. It's like the only one with a canon, basically.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
It's really good.
It's creepy. It's like
I really need to watch it again.
It's only 2 seasons. It's perfect.
There's so many episodes in those 2 seasons, though. I feel like they're both like 100 episodes long. And then I put just any Batman show, the Batman animated series. Justice League Unlimited. And then I also want to say Young Justice, but I want to get into that when we talk about tween media.
Okay, yes.
I want to mention Batman shows. I mean, really any superhero media when we talk about tween media. But
Spider-Man show from 2017 is really good.
The Amazing Spider-Man? Or Spectacular Spider-Man?
The one with the guy hanging upside down.
That's all of them. But the Batman shows I really want to talk about because, like, great messages, it's very Scooby-Doo adjacent, cartoon-wise.
Yeah.
But I also do want to talk about that, like, meaning of what's right and how that is transferred onto children. That's all I want to talk about for now.
Okay.
There's a lot more I want to expand on as we get into later.
Yes.
DJ Bryce, would you like to?
I'm going. Okay, my top 5, I also have Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. It's forever going to be...
It's so good.
I don't need to talk about it, but it's forever going to be up there. It's good enough I have to mention it again. I think the best piece of media geared towards children to come out recently, actually over Owl House, is Craig of the Creek. I
do like Craig of the Creek. I've only seen like a handful of episodes.
Owl House handles much more serious topics, and I think that they handle the idea of an oppressive
family and
government situation.
That too.
Really, really well for children.
Yes.
And I'm not saying the show in no way is political. If you don't know what Owl House is, it's about a alternate dimension full of demons and wizards, and there is a wizard who rules this city, and he restricts what type of magic people are allowed to perform. So you have to choose one class of magic, a school of magic. So you can do basically earth magic or I don't know the rest.
I remember the only 4 I remember were beasts. Taming.
Yes, beasts, that's what it is.
Potions. Yes. Abomination and...
Abomination, what I was trying to say.
I think it was construction was the other one.
Yes.
Oh, and illusion, because the black kid. I don't remember his name.
Yes, one of the main characters, I
need to rewatch it. I need to rewatch it as a whole.
So he can disappear and transform and stuff.
Yeah.
And basically, everyone is born having the skills to produce all of this magic because it exists within this universe, within the actual soil of the place that they live, but they're not allowed to perform it. And he's actually taking power from other people's magic and stuff and restricting them. And that's what, when I'm talking about fascism or an oppressive government, that's sort of where that allegory comes from. So it's not political, it's not brainwashing, but it's very clear in teaching you, it's wrong to...
It's like when you watch a Disney movie as movie as an adult.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this movie is actually about this.
Oh, wow. Yes. Posthumously applying that.
Right.
Okay. Craig of the Creek is really great. It's super amazing representation in terms of all different types of family dynamics. There is a South Asian character. The main character is it's about a black family. Craig and his older brother, his younger sister, and his parents, and then you meet his cousins, and you meet his grandparents, and so many different characters. There's deaf characters. One speaks American Sign Language, one speaks Black Sign Language, which if you don't know, there's 2 different types. And so much more. It's amazing. I feel like watching it, I'm like literally watching my childhood. They get it so accurate. It's basically just about the power of imagination and like friendship and learning who you are with your friends when you're really young. Like I'm talking like 7 years old.
Yeah, I do really like Craig of the Creek. My only thing with it, I've only seen like 10 or so episodes. So I can't really put it on my like top anything list just because I've seen so little of it. I will say, a show I used to hate, very akin to Craig of the Creek, Clarence.
Oh, yes.
I really did not like Clarence growing up, but now that I realize that it really is just about being... It is probably one of the most, quote-unquote, realistic cartoons. Yes. It's very akin to Craig of the Creek. Mm-hmm. But Craig of the Creek is just more fantastical, where Clarence is more real.
Like, yeah, having those day in the life sort of things
for
kids
that's
to
a
watch.
Slice of life is a good way to put it.
It's super, super important because then you can be like, oh my gosh, I literally did that with my friends, and now I am watching
I think Craig of the Creek, what the difference between Craig of the Creek and Clarence. Craig of the Creek is like what you remember happening. Mm-hmm. Clarence is what actually happened. Yes.
So it's different, like, especially depending what age you're watching. Yeah. I think it would be different. And then, what else do I have? Speed run of random things. Gravity Falls is just one of the best pieces of
I didn't even list those because it's so good. Like, we're all thinking it.
It's really great. It's about, like, leaving your childhood behind, and it captures a lot of that. It's super fun, and it's, like, fun for kids and adults to watch, which I think is really important because it's like, hey, sit down and watch a show with your kid. You know, and that's one of the ones where I think, like that one and Bluey, that you see a lot of parents saying, I can sit down with my kid and watch this, and I'm actually, like...
Game Theory likes Gravity Falls.
Yes, and I'm actually enjoying it and equally as enraptured as everyone else. And then I have Wild Kratts. It's an educational TV show that I think is done really well.
That's all I can really say about it, though, is that it is just great. And there was a really fun game on their website.
That's true. I love the PBS Kids website.
Dude. Sorry. I was about to get into a tangent.
My favorite childhood movie, just to mention it, is Bedtime Stories because I just always have to plug it because I think it's great. And then also, in terms of TV shows, I have the My Little Pony show, I think, is a great piece of media from the early 2000s, geared towards young girls. It taught so many lessons, similar to Owl House, actually, in terms of, like, friendship, representation, and also, like, battling different types of villains that are allegories for things in the real world to teach those life lessons about, like, not allowing people to control you and being yourself and holding values like loyalty and honesty and friendship with your friends. And then also, like, Fraggle Rock, Sesame Street, anything by Jim Henson, I think it's really important to talk about. And that is my segue into just us delving into really the importance of media geared towards children. And because I think PBS really, like, signifies this, I don't know, it, like, represents this a lot, especially Jim Henson and any Muppet media, because if y'all don't know, the whole purpose of Sesame Street was actually to be produced to benefit, like, underserved communities and children in underserved communities. It's meant to represent those kids specifically. That's why they live on sort of a borough outside of New York block. That's why, like, Elmo speaks with a Brooklyn accent. And Jim Henson was always really, I mean, not when he was on SNL, but he was always, like, cared a lot about benefiting communities and benefiting kids and, like, teaching them something and providing them a safe space and a safe, like, piece of media to watch and to consume. Because if y'all don't know, obviously, nowadays in the age of the internet, like, so many TV shows, even if they are geared towards kids, have the potential to become really dangerous spaces for kids because of the adult fans and things like that.
Yes.
And so,
that's a big thing. That is a big thing to talk about, is that we wanted to bring up adults in kids' spaces. I think one of the best communities to talk about is Hasbro. Mm-hmm. So, yes, Bronies. Yes, but this is good. I know Transformers. You know My Little Pony. So, how about you start? You go with My Little Pony.
TLDR, what happened with the My Little Pony fandom is that...
I will say, I haven't seen anything about bronies in a good couple years.
No, they do not exist anymore. So to be clear, this doesn't this was at the, like, dawn of the internet when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And, like...
Led by, like, 2012
Yeah, early
era.
2010 era, maybe even, like, 2009.
Yeah,
basically,
I would say that's the earliest 2009.
Yeah, My Little Pony's been around since the 90s and
80s.
Yeah. But this My Little Pony Friendship is Magic came out
it's the only
2000s.
It's the only, like, quote unquote real show, because before then it was just essentially Care Bears, but they were horses.
Exactly. Care Bears.
Okay, so I do have a friend that likes My Little Pony.
Yes.
And they've been trying to get me to watch it, and I've watched a little bit of it, but only in passing. And I do get what you mean. It genuinely is a really good show. And from what my friend has said...
Well done. It's done with a lot of care. Like, if you watch videos of the people who created it, and I think this is important when considering animated media and children's media, is, like, you have to care and be well aware of what you're producing. DreamWorks does this well. That's why Troll Hunters, She-Ra, every single one of those shows, Dragon Prince, are all... people have fans of, like, every age, because... they're really intentional, which is what you have to do when you're producing something that's geared towards children, because obviously they're very impressionable minds, and it should not be just feeding them slop. That's why a lot of parents don't like their kids watching, what's that show? Cocomelon.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have any, like...
There's no substance.
Yeah, there's no substance to it, so it's not really activating their kids' brains, and they notice that, like, oh, my kid is throwing, like, tantrums when they watch this because they're overstimulated and it's not serving them. Whereas if I put on, like, Bluey or something, or, like, something from my childhood, like Bear in the Big House.
Yes, I was about to say that. People bringing up older shows.
It's a lot better for my child because it's done in a way they can understand. It's engaging.
It's engaging, but not overstimulating.
Yeah, it teaches them something.
Yeah.
And so those creators kept that in mind. Like, I remember reading the books about how the My Little Pony show was made.
Yeah, so I've seen...
They were really serious about it.
Mm-hmm. My friend was telling me about sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But my friend was telling me, like, the creator of My Little Pony, I forget her name, but... Not Dana Terrace. That's Owl House. But the creator was like, yeah, I was a kid and I watched My Little Pony, but getting slightly older, I kind of realized that this was just a show for girls. There was no substance.
Yes.
There was nothing to it.
Yes, absolutely.
So she was like, I wanted to keep that heart of, like, it's a quote-unquote girl show, but she wanted to make a show for girls that had substance.
And that anyone can watch. Yes, absolutely. We could talk about that forever, because that's part of what later when we talk about tween media, that's part of the reason why tween media has died, is because there was this, like, false assumption that it was only for young girls.
Right.
And same with, like, boy bands and things like that. And they're kind of lessened in importance and believed to have less substance when that's not true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what happens eventually is basically in the dawn of the internet, kids would be searching for things about their favorite show, My Little Pony, or really this happens with most shows nowadays, most cartoons. And adult fans have flooded these online spaces with inappropriate videos and posts and all these things about My Little Pony. And that really damaged, like, the production of this show.
Yes.
Like they almost had to stop making the show. It was, like, really bad. And because there were so many bronies. They were having conventions. Like, this is the most notorious in terms of pop culture example of adults in kids spaces, I think. But that shows, like, how just dangerous it can be and how you have to be cognizant of that. Like, you should be appreciating this media. All I do is watch cartoons.
It's peak.
It's my favorite thing to do because I love them. Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beast, I think, is one of the greatest TV shows ever made. For example, people love anime and all of that. Like,
anime's great.
Animated shows and cartoons are not, like, just for kids. Even ones like Craig of the Creek or whatever that's geared towards kids. That's the point.
There's a difference between for kids and geared towards kids.
They're supposed to be able to be watched by anyone, but when I'm, like, consuming a piece of media that's made for a kid, I'm cognizant of that fact, and I'm not going to, like, corrupt their fan spaces.
Yes.
And obviously bronies were grown men, and there were a lot of factors that we're not going to discuss. This is not a video essay about bronies, but it happens, and it can really damage these shows, and it can really damage these spaces for children, and then can inadvertently just introduce them to inappropriate things that you do not want to be introducing kids to.
Right.
Especially not through their favorite show that they're just trying to watch a video about.
Yes, and I think that's a good way to talk about Transformers as well, because, I mean, I feel like everyone knows Transformers. It's started out as just this basic toy line in Japan, and then no one was buying it, so they sold the rights to Hasbro, and they eventually made a TV show, and then the TV show for G.I. Joe and Transformers actually has a lot of cool history when it comes to kids' TV shows, because initially it was just made essentially as one, 10 to 15 minute long commercial. That's all it was. And then the what's the FTC? Mm-hmm. The FTC was like, hey, so you can't just make a really long commercial that takes up this block of time. Do something with it. Teach lessons. I don't care. Do something. Don't just show off
my toys. And
don't just show off the cool toys. IP. And they were like, okay, fair. And then, the original line of Transformers was really basic. It was, like, if you've ever seen any G1 Transformers or G.I. Joe, they're pretty much the same. Yeah. It's a lot of, like, do the right thing, a lot of environmental messaging, as well as Captain Planet. Captain Planet was the same. A lot of environmental messaging, and then just the basic, like, beat the bad guy kind of thing. And then...
protect your friends.
Yes. I do think one of the first instances of adults getting into kids' media is Transformers. And I think the 1986 Transformers movie is one of the best ways to show that. Because if you watch even just one episode of G1... it's so simple, basic. They shoot lasers, but if they get hit, they just, like, get knocked over or something like that. And then they run away at the end of the episode. Whatever. Super simple. But then you watch the movie, and they're getting shot, and they die realistically. And kids go out of the movie theater crying.
Like, what happened to my friend Optimus Prime?
Exactly. Optimus Prime dies in the movie. Yeah. And then they introduce a whole new character, and no one likes him, and whatever. But I do think the movie is one of the best ways to show, a couple things. But a lot of adults really liked that movie at the time. Like, the adults that watched it, they were like, I was kind of invested. But for my kid, this was not good.
And there should have been... Now we know, I think, that there's a way to produce that movie and say both parties are happy.
Yes, Transformers 1 is the best Transformers movie.
Because what it comes down to is assuming, like, where you fail when someone makes a piece of media that you're attempting to gear towards both adults and their kids, or just kids and adults, is assuming that one party or the other cannot appreciate shared things about, like, either side, and basically assuming that, like, cartoons are just for kids, animation is just for kids, and it's really simple, and
that's regressive,
and they can't understand, I don't know, political topics, or they can't understand metaphors. They can. Children live in the same world that adults do,
right?
And I'm someone who works with kids. I talk about this on my show a lot. I teach and I work with kids like 12 months out of the year, basically, and they're smart.
Right.
You never get anywhere, in my experience, working with kids by, like, doing a baby voice.
Kids are so much smarter than you think.
Or talking down to them. Yes. They are actually going to be like, screw you. They're not going to listen to you at that point.
Kids are smarter than kids think.
Oh, yeah. They know.
They know things, dude.
Know.
Like,
especially now, they all have phones. Every single one of them has a phone.
Yes. I think that's a good thing to talk about as well.
We can talk about it. They certainly know. And so... this idea that, like, Guillermo del Toro talks about this, that animation has to be this super simple and, like, 1 + 1 is 2, and don't be mean to your friends. Like, that's just not... That's not correct.
That's harmful,
and you're doing,
anything.
You see this a lot with Pixar, even. Disney and Pixar.
Yes, I was just about to say, look at Pixar.
Is iconic for being, like, childhood media. You take your kids to see the new Disney Princess movie. You take your kids to see the new Pixar movie. But the reason why Pixar is so successful is because it has this really deep emotional... ties to it, and really deep emotional like journey that it goes on.
Look at
parents,
like a person dies within 10 minutes.
Up does this. Inside Out. That's the reason why Inside Out was so successful.
Inside Out was also really good.
Yeah. I believe Soul, Turning Red, and Luca does this, which came out during COVID, unfortunately, so no one probably watched them. Elemental is amazing. It's a story about an immigrant family, but told through the elements. Like, it's so important to use animation as a vehicle as well, because you can do like what Elemental does, right? Where the characters are fire and water and trees and clouds. Right? Okay, so obviously in real life, nobody is a fire or a water or a tree or a cloud. Yeah. But a kid is smart enough to recognize,
these people are different.
They're treating the fire people really badly, and the fire people have to live in one section of the city without everybody else, but that doesn't really make sense because look how nice Ember is. And to not allow kids the opportunity to understand that or to, like, continue being exposed to that, I think is really dangerous. And they might grow up, or you personally might just not like it, and that's fine. But the point is that, like, it was an option given to them to have that understanding. Literally, media literacy. Elemental is not just about the elements. Luca is not just a movie about fish people. When people are creating cartoons, when people are creating movies, when you're writing a script, you're talking about what story do I want to tell and what themes do I want to produce here. And that's not for nothing. Like, if a writer, if a creator didn't do that work, you would not have a movie. You would not like that movie. Right. So to have this space nowadays, I think in 2026, where everyone is like, Luca is not that deep. Zootopia is not that deep. It's not even about that. It's just for kids. They don't understand.
Yeah, that sentence, it's just for kids.
Boom.
One of the worst things you can say.
And we just spent 25 minutes talking about media made for kids. So clearly...
And we're both technically adults.
So clearly, it's not... They don't lack depth. They do not lack meaning. They do not, like... They're not deserving of less importance. That should be, like, extremely obvious, I feel like.
Yes.
So it really comes down to that, like, trusting kids and also caring about them. Because they, like... Well, they're our future. Well, they're our future.
Yeah, treat them like they're your future.
Yeah. And nowadays, I think we see online, we were talking about this earlier, like, we hate kids in 2026. Yeah. Oh, God, we hate them. Every comment you see on TikTok is talking about, I want to curb stomp him. Oh, my God.
Throw him out a window.
Like, I hate it. We talked about Sephora kids a few years ago. It was huge. Yeah. Talking about how they shouldn't be allowed to be out in public. It was a conversation. Saying that kids should not be allowed to go out in public. Guys, that's so sad.
We're going back to what's that one phrase? Kids should be seen, not heard.
Yes, yeah, and that's terrible. That's not.
Honestly, fair. I feel like we're going to kids should not be seen or heard.
Should not be seen or heard. Give them away, but take them out of here. And hey, if you want to have a child-free wedding, that's your choice. But it's not about that. Like, kids are going to Sephora. The 6-year-olds are on TikTok putting on 3 pumps of blush.
Crazy.
Because there's
27-step skincare
putting retinol.
You're 12.
On. The 11-year-olds are putting on retinol.
Yeah.
Because we've decided that media geared towards them, books and TV shows and movies, is not important.
Yes.
Because we've decided that they can't understand it, and we've decided that it's just not something we can spend our time or money on. Nobody enjoys it. So we've ignored them completely. And now this is what we're seeing. Well, they're putting retinol on. I feel like they're watching Euphoria.
Yeah, I feel like one of the things that it is people will say, I don't know if this is a general audience thing. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm a general audience. I feel like I can understand things a bit more media-wise, at least.
I agree.
So I don't think
if you're like a cinephile, you're not. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I feel like the general audience thinks kids media is immature and babyish. Mm-hmm. And then kids will hear that. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, I don't want to be I don't want to be immature or babyish. So they're like, okay, I'm doing makeup. 27-step skincare process.
Oh, cartoon is so silly. Again, I watched cartoons at 21 years old.
Yeah, I still watch cartoons.
I played with toys till I was like 15, which is not an old age. Like 14, you're in middle school. You're in middle school.
Yeah.
At 13, you're in middle school.
That's another thing. 14, I feel like there's a jump between 14 and 15. Because it's like, 14 is right after you're 13. Mm-hmm. And when you're 13, you're stupid. So when you're 14, you're also stupid. But the thing is, when you're 15, you're almost 16. And 16 in most people's mind is pretty much an adult.
Yeah, now we view them as adults, which is doing them a disservice as well. Because I don't know if any of you regularly work with 16-year-olds, but I do.
Yeah.
I do. I spend 3 months out of my year living with them. And they still need guidance, and they still need care, and they shouldn't be treated as adults, because think about all the things you have to go through every day that a child should never have to handle.
Yes.
And the point is, they're being exposed to these things online. Again, they're watching Euphoria, mama. They're watching Tell Me Lies.
Right.
The 12-year-olds are watching Heated Rivalry. And I'm going to say it. I don't think that that's fair or appropriate, and to skip what is a really important developmental period for kids.
Yes.
Which is that age of the tween age.
Yes, I think another thing.
Harmful.
Yes, I think another sentence that is very harmful is you're almost this old.
Yep. Oh, you shouldn't.
Yes,
Yeah.
like that's the thing. Like
you shouldn't need me. Oh, you should be.
Of course, with certain things.
Why do we want our kids to grow up so fast?
Like with certain things, yes, I get it. But when you're like 13 or 14 and you're almost 16.
Oh, okay.
Now
I don't want to ask you for help.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not 16.
Yeah.
When you're 16, you're like,
okay,
quote unquote.
I can drive.
You're quote unquote developed.
Mm-hmm.
What you should.
Your brain's not done developing until you're 26.
Yeah, yes, you're not done developing, but you're like 16. You should be baseline.
Mm-hmm.
But even when you're 16 and before, you're still stupid. You're still 16. Like
I still need my mom.
Exactly.
I'm 21 years old. I need my mommy.
Yeah, I technically live on my own, and I still ask them for help.
I say, can you come here and help me clean? Can you come help me? I don't know. Can you help me figure out my car? Can you help me anything?
Right.
That's a fact, and obviously, teenagers are supposed to be experimenting with independence. That's the point. So that's another.
Of course.
So it's not that, but it's like, as a society, assuming that they don't need it and not providing it is why now they're aging out of these things so much more quickly, and that's really harmful.
Yes.
Because we know, I talk about this on my show all the time, that hyper-independence as a society is not helpful to any of us developmentally.
Right.
And especially...
It's something that you have to grow into.
Yes. And especially, for the tweens, right? This is one of the big things we wanted to talk about.
Yes, we said, what was our parameter? 9 to 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 9 to 12.
Which is basically middle school age.
Yeah.
Top of elementary school, middle school, first year of high school. Educators call this a transitory age, where basically this is one of the first times college is sort of this as well, considered to be that as well.
Right.
Where this is you're not yet old enough to drive, but you're also not young enough to be
to be dumb.
Yeah, to be 1, 2, 3.
To be ignorant.
To be watching Bluey.
Right.
Let's use cartoons for an
example. Yeah. Let's talk
You're
about.
not old enough to watch Euphoria, but you're not young enough to be watching Bluey.
Right.
So what are you doing, right? And used to, when we were kids,
yeah.
there was a lot of media geared towards
Yes,
tweens.
Of course. Pretty much every the big three, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Disney Channel.
Yeah.
All of those, I feel like
for tweens.
Every
Literally.
summer and
Absolutely.
every Christmas they had something. They were you can enter to win this thing for ages I think the youngest was 7, maybe 7 or 8, up to 15.
Mm-hmm.
That.
We had entire, all of cable television, Disney Channel, all of that was specifically for those ages. Oh,
right.
You want to watch a TV show? Okay, here you go. And maybe at night, if you're on Disney Channel and it's, really late, and you're, an older teenager, you can watch the Full House. There
right.
You go. And Full House is going to come on
Yeah,
at,
same
11
same
PM.
for Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
The first 2...
Star vs. the First of Evil would come on at, 11.
But, for Cartoon Network, Adult Swim would come on. But the first, 2 or 3 episodes for Adult Swim was always King of the Hill. And King of the Hill isn't... Not to say it's not an adult show, but it's not
more for that age range,
15
older teens.
Yeah, 15 yeah, older teens. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Older teens can get it.
Mm-hmm. And so these shows were amazing, right? I think of Hannah Montana, I think of That's So Raven, Wizards of Waverly Place, and then later you have Austin and Ally, Jessie even. Jessie I would say could be a bit younger, but Jessie even, and then For me, I think it dies at that point. I remember Bizarre came out in 2016. I was in the 6th grade.
I feel like that was the death.
And that was the death. and I'm saying that was the death. Okay, now thank God we have Percy Jackson, but obviously streaming model changes things. We're not going to talk about that, but we have Percy Jackson, so that a little bit counts. But I think 2016, I feel like
Bunked was the downhill, and Bizarre was the wall.
The nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
Nail in the coffin. And there have been rare attempts at something from Disney.
Owl House, I think, is the last.
It was Owl House, basically.
The last good one.
But the point was that these shows
when did Gravity Falls end? Was that 2016?
Much before that.
Okay, never mind.
2014 maybe.
I remember seeing it.
Yes.
Anyways,
yes.
sorry.
They would play it. The point was that, like, these shows, Hannah Montana, whatever, were about teenagers.
Right.
Okay, so if you are in that...
Yeah, Austin and Ally they were like 16, weren't they?
So if they're in high school, most of them. Or maybe it started when they were in middle school and then it went all the way through till... Most of these shows went until they graduated from high school.
Right.
Like, you saw their whole life amongst the, like, 5 or 6 seasons of these shows. And the point was, like, if I'm a tween, right, if I'm, like, in middle school or late elementary school and I'm watching this show, then now I have something exciting to look forward to.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, like, Hannah Montana's going to high school. Like, this is so cool. And now I can see what that... Okay. Oh, Zendaya's show. What is that called?
Casey Undercover.
Casey Undercover was really great as well. That was pre-2016 as well. And so now I have something to look forward to. And then also, if I'm in the age of the characters of the show, now I have something that represents me.
I think a good thing to point out with Disney Channel specifically, because to my knowledge, Disney Channel was the only channel to... Nickelodeon did this towards their latter, like when Henry Danger... Like the middle of Henry Danger. Mm-hmm. But Disney Channel especially did this a lot. I think it's really important for... Especially geared towards tween media. Mm-hmm. Disney Channel always tried to put the actors into stuff, not the characters.
Yes.
So they would always be like, oh, we're with...
Ross Lynch.
Yeah, we're with Ross Lynch. They wouldn't be like, we're here with Jesse.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing for tweens to understand. Because
this person is not the character.
Yes. It's important to understand this person isn't just some cartoon character.
Especially
this is a person.
With all these parasocial relationships, too.
Yes.
We have a hard time splitting the virtual world from reality.
Yeah.
Thank you, COVID, but...
COVID...
That probably made it
That
worse.
was the nail in the coffin. But, I mean, we don't have to say that.
No, actually, everyone already knows that.
Yeah.
So, the tween media like that, like, was integral for me. I still go back and watch, like, Hannah Montana and Wizards of Waverly Place. I think that they're just great shows. And also, what you saw in, like, the late 90s, early 2000s with these shows is that they covered really sensitive topics.
Right.
Okay? We're talking, like, racism, colorism. That's So Raven, I think, even with their episode like that, like, delved into colorism, talked about, like, discrimination based on hair texture. Raven gets told that she can't model for this modeling company her clothing that she designed because she's black and because she's bigger.
Right.
And... it was done. It's smoothly. It's not virtue signaling. It is not thrown in for the sake of like, oh, I have to check a box. It was because these were real life shows about real characters, so they needed to experience things that the teenagers who they represented were experiencing. They talk about depression. Full House, I think, talks about that a lot. Death in the families, suicides even, and teenagers understand this. Again, it always comes back to this of, like, respecting your audience.
Right.
They understand. They
know people die.
Yeah, they're experiencing this every day. They are feeling these crazy, complicated emotions. Okay, puberty is wrecking them.
Right.
Their entire body is basically reforming itself. They get it. Like, you can show them difficult concepts. You can have hard and sad episodes. Not everything has to be silly.
Especially, like, I think at that age, at least for me and a couple other people I knew, that is when you first cognizantly probably have someone die in your family. Mm-hmm. Because for me, my grandmother died when I was like 14 or 15. That was the first time that someone had passed away in my family, and I cognizantly was like, oh, wow, this person is gone.
Again, that transitory age of, like, everyone around you is going through changes, and so you're wondering, like, what the next stage is going to be like. That's why shows like that are so important. they might be about a super spy. Yes, Raven might have the ability to see into the future. Hannah Montana might have an alternate identity as a pop star. Same with Ross Lynch or Austin and Ally.
Yeah.
But the point is, like, they were, like, realistic characters at an age that you were close to, that you could understand and feel seen in. And seeing behavior modeled in media is how you learn how to, like, behave.
Right.
Is one of the, like, looking glass even in kids media. That's why when the Transformers beat the bad guy, you know as a kid, oh, I shouldn't behave like the bad guy.
Right.
That's the point of watching, like, TV and media, any of it.
Right.
Even the simplest of stuff. Is it teaches you that lesson. It reflects something that exists in the real world. And so that's so important for tweens and teenagers to have, because it's kind of the worst age to be. So, like,
it really is.
Like, I don't know how to treat
anybody.
Because
it's the nothing age,
yeah,
really,
I don't know,
what it is.
I don't know how to treat anybody. I'm like, maybe I'm supposed to start dating. Everyone is weird. I'm, like, getting
Math
taller.
is hard.
I'm a girl and I'm, like, taller than every guy in my class. I'm reading these crazy books in my English class. My teachers are being annoying. I'm getting dress coded because, like, suddenly, like, my thighs are too big. And, like, it's terrible.
It is.
So, to have pieces of media that reflect it, help you understand safe and healthy ways to, like, process things that you are experiencing and things that you're going to experience.
Right.
And in this age where we, like, place, the whole reason we started this podcast was because we were talking about how, like, no one has media literacy anymore.
Yes.
We place so little care and emphasis into the things that we watch when they are literally everything.
Yes.
Everything.
Media at its base is another word for stories.
Mm-hmm.
Stories shape literally everything.
Culture.
History is a story.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes. Anything is
like
a story.
Like a fable. That's why folk tales existed in the first place.
Yes.
Because storytelling
it's a cautionary tale.
Is how humans learned to process things that they were experiencing.
Right.
And teach lessons to next generations or whoever. So, yeah, so now that we live in this space where we're placing so little emphasis on this, I feel like it's super harmful. We were talking before this, I was saying how even as a college student, I feel like I look for movies and TV shows because I still have this need to want to see myself represented in the things that I watch.
Yes.
To feel like, okay, maybe that could be me one day. And I genuinely still feel like the age group of, like, young adults is not being represented.
Yeah, the young adult, not like...
I'm at an age
not
now...
like book young adult.
Yeah, I'm at an age now where, like, I can't really watch the high school movies. They don't feel really as connecting as they did, like, 2 years ago.
Yeah, the only way a high school movie feels
is nostalgia.
Our age, but also I feel like if a high school movie feels our age, it's because A, they're either seniors, or B, it's adult.
It's actually not even for teenagers.
Right.
Yeah. And so, like,
I'm not okay with this.
Yes,
is
exactly.
A great show, by the way.
Great show.
Please watch it. It's never getting a season 2. I hate that.
I know.
I'm sorry.
So
but,
much
like,
cancellations.
they're like juniors in high school, I think, in that show. But the show is still, like... Actually, that one's more teen-ish.
It counts.
It's not... It's like older
like Stranger
teen.
Things.
Yeah. It's like season 1 Stranger Things.
Yeah.
But, like, even that, like...
Where the point was, even though they're high schoolers or middle schoolers,
it's still
anyone can watch it.
Right.
Super good.
Such a good show. Sorry. I love it. I'm not okay with this. I need to rewatch it.
Yes, I feel underserved. Even I feel like I cannot find a movie that, like, I feel like represents the age I'm at and the space of life that I'm at.
I can't even think
now.
of any recent ones.
I cannot think of one. And it's actually because I've been searching for months. I've been trying to find something to watch. And, like, Bridgerton's great, but maybe I just want to watch something about someone who feels like me.
Right.
And
it's also a thing of, like, we're getting into the nostalgia era. Mm-hmm. I feel like this has been a thing for a while.
Where everything is just trying to be something else.
Yes, every show now is from the 80s and 90s or from, like, Victorian era.
Yep. Which is great.
Yeah, the last modern show that I can think of that took place in a modern setting that was, like, widely
accepted.
accepted.
Summer I Turned Pretty, but it's teenagers too.
Okay, that's fair. I have watched very little of it. I forgot it existed. But I was thinking Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But even then, that takes place in 2000, I think by the end of the show, like 2009.
Yeah, so
and it ended in 20,
already.
like, oh no, it did end in like 2010. Mm-hmm. But like, here, Better Call Saul ended in 2020, still takes place in 2009.
And then sitcoms. Oh, one day we'll talk about sitcoms. That fills a void there. But like I'm thinking Abbott Elementary. But like
Abbott Elementary actually is pretty good.
I want to see like the kids shows we were talking about earlier, right? Craig of the Creek we said was like a slice of life show.
Yeah.
And then you have Hannah Montana. I would also say slice of life has romance, has dating, has whatever, but also like.
Austin and Ally.
Austin and Ally too. But just going through the emotions of everyday life. I want a show like that. And I don't want it to be bogged down by drugs and partying and violence. Euphoria. Tell me lies. Because me personally, that doesn't feel like... That has never felt healthy for me to watch.
Yes, I agree. And I recently have been trying to... I'm kind of in my happiness and whimsy era right now. I've been trying to consume happy media.
Yes.
Because it feels good. My favorite band, TWRP, 99% of their songs are about how great life is. My favorite song, Bright Blue Sky. The main line... I'm getting autistic. I love twerp.
TLDR.
The main like chorus part is... through every dark cloud, there's a bright blue sky. That is so healthy for me to just hear someone else say. And I feel like that we said before we started recording that tween doesn't exist. It's just you're an adult now. Yeah, or like you should be consuming adult media.
Yeah, watch Euphoria.
Right. Like
you're 12, go ahead.
Yeah, and these kids like even before then, Homestuck was about like okay, I'm not very versed in Homestuck. The only things I've gotten from Homestuck are from one of my friends that was really into it. But it's about, like, there's serious topics in it. Like, people die. There's suicide. I think people get kidnapped. I could be totally wrong. The Homestuck fans are yelling at me.
Well, but, like... We were talking about 13 Reasons Why earlier. Yes! Arguably way too violent for
literally, the first episode.
The age group that it was serving. There are better ways to do it, and that show is dated, and we've probably learned better ways now. But like, so we've skipped over what we've done, basically. The journey that we have went on culturally has been that, like, we've placed less importance into kids and tween media. We say that they can't understand complex topics, that it's simple and it's stupid and it's corny or whatever. And so then you're not producing media that they can understand at a young age. And then you're also skipping the very important transitory age.
Yes.
Where they need to be dealt with a lot of caution because their brain is still developing. And we're handing them these extremely adult shows that they should not be watching, that does not represent real life, and you run the risk of them attempting to emulate it or any number of things. And it makes kids grow up way too fast is actually is the number one, I would say, effect of all of this. That's what we were talking about earlier. Yeah. Lack of kid spaces, the Sephora kids. That's what we're saying. It just makes kids grow up way too fast. And they are a group of people who, like, obviously, our future. I think that we just have to treat with extreme care. And to continue acting like kids media and tween media has no depth when we, again, just discussed how we watch it to this day.
Yeah. Look at K-pop Demon Hunters.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
Nimona.
Worldwide success, these animated movies.
Yeah.
And arguably are children's media. I'm saying finger quotes here. Even though just because they're animated
geared towards
doesn't
kids.
make them for kids, right?
Yeah. Again, for kids versus geared towards kids.
Yeah. And so we cannot continue to exist. The argument here that we're trying to make is like a warning of like we cannot continue to exist in this space that like places so little care in what we are producing for kids and young adults.
Right.
And where that comes from is this idea that like, oh, the media you consume doesn't matter, that it doesn't teach you anything, that it's just, like, stupid, that it's merely for entertainment. And the point is that nothing is for mindless entertainment, arguably, other than scrolling on TikTok, other than doom scrolling.
Yes.
And so we need to, like, attempt to... I wanted to close out this with, like, our predictions and sort of hopes for, like, how to solve this. And it's just about, like, replacing that emphasis into the things that we're consuming. And being intentional, like as simple as how I spend my 2 hours of free time matters. So I'd rather watch something with depth that makes me feel something than mindless content
Right.
that was created with no purpose other than to fill a time slot
Right.
on a TV show.
And there's not, well, okay, for TV, yes. I was gonna say for like social media, like what's that one? Zach D Films. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know who Zach D Films, you probably do. You just don't know his name. But he's the one where he's like tells little short stories or like science experiments in like 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
That's shown to fill time, but that's also the purpose of it.
It's also a little bit educational, guys. Yes. So yeah, that's like my one main hope in terms of it. Obviously, the whole point, again, point of this podcast was to discuss media literacy because we live in a society where it's currently not having emphasis placed on it. And so I can't really predict that it's just going to magically have emphasis placed on it again. Yeah. I can't say that I believe that it needs to.
What I think for a lot of media is it's going to be inadvertent good messaging. So if the show already has that message and it's just like a reboot or like a continuation of a series. So like I said I want to talk about Batman the Animated Series. Batman the Animated Series inadvertently has a good, I mean, at that time at least, the creators did know this because I mean, this was the first real, only thing before that I think was Adam West Batman. And Adam West Batman, it's great. But it was like a family comedy.
Yes.
But Batman the Animated Series, I mean, this kind of applies for a lot of Batman shows. So, like, you know, Justice League Unlimited, Young Justice, stuff like that. Has that inadvertent message of, again, like Transformers, do the right thing. You know, it gives you that sense of justice.
So they're, like, subtly injected underneath a storyline.
Yes, even if it's not, like, the Joker. Like,
yes.
you know, Batman tells you, at its core, to use your community to help other people. So let's say if a kid's getting bullied and he sees that Commissioner Gordon calls Batman and that let's just, you know, make it a little cartoony. That kid that is getting bullied is Commissioner Gordon. The bully is, I don't know, the Riddler. The teacher, a parent, someone is your Batman.
Boom. And
it's fun.
The point is that we can't these messages already exist in the media that we're consuming.
Yeah.
Like Luca, all the Pixar movies that are coming out. Elemental just came out,
like
3 years ago. And there's a few new ones that are coming out soon. Inside Out 2 came out a few years ago. It covered anxiety. It was pretty good.
I always forget that's my hawk.
I know.
Anxiety.
The media is doing this, right? That analogy is actually so perfect because don't you want your kid to be able to call for Batman? Don't you want your kid to be able to know to ask for help, to know to stand up for themselves, to stand up for others?
When I was growing up,
what you dream of.
My parents always told me that, and I never did it. That was kind of a me problem because I was just scared too. But like
Batman can show you, and that's the power in it. And the point is, you need to be reminded of that at every age.
Right.
Inside Out 2 is for 13 and 14. 14-year-olds going into high school, right?
Yeah, it's about puberty.
They need to be reminded that, like, oh, I'm going to probably argue with my friends, and I am terrified that I'm letting everyone down, but I'm actually not, because when I let my friends in and let them support me and hug me and just do the fun things I like to do with my friends, I actually feel better.
Right.
And it's as simple as that. You're not diagnosing someone with anxiety, but you are making them feel seen.
Yeah, you can be anxious without having anxiety.
Yeah. And so that is so important.
Yes.
And movies are going to continue to do that because, like we said, movies have to have a theme and a message. Artists are going to continue to make things that have a purpose to them, especially Pixar and Disney, things geared towards kids. But if we continue to place less importance in them, that's where you get, like what we talked about earlier with, like, oh, that's so stupid and childish. A kid is going to listen and receive that and is going to stop.
Right. They're going to look up to the people saying that.
Yeah. Usually. And so now they're going to be like, I want to be an adult, and they're going to watch Euphoria.
Yeah.
And so knowing that, like, this media is important regardless of whether or not it's geared for kids because it teaches a lesson. And these are lessons that you can use at any age because they impact all humans. Like, everybody needs to know to stand up for what's right. Everybody needs to know to allow their community and friends in, to ask for help.
Right.
That's why folklore, fables, we were talking about storytelling earlier, is so important. And so, yeah, hopefully we get to a space where we can reinstate that importance, and you can do things like what we just did and talk about a cartoon for an hour, and without people saying it's not that deep.
Right. That's another really regressive sentence. It's not that deep.
It's not that deep.
Which, like, okay, I will say for some things, I've definitely seen people talk. I mean, it's usually not media, but like, they'll be talking about, I don't know, their friend, or a personal story like that, and they're like, yeah, this person's such a this and this, and it really isn't. It's like, this person's wrong, this person's right. You're done.
Like okay, right.
Yeah. Like.
Yes, it is helpful when it comes to like being like, oh hey, the world doesn't have to revolve around me.
Yes.
But when you're using it to be regressive towards people who are trying to like show importance to anything.
Yes. It's that thing where people say like, it's just a game.
Yes.
It's like, obviously, if I care this much about it, it's not just a game.
Something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Try to, at the very least, I think is what we're trying to say.
Yes.
At the very least, understand. Try.
If you're a little confused, you're like, who's this cartoon for? Who's this?
Watch an episode.
Who's this children's book for?
Watch one episode.
Watch an episode.
Go on YouTube and watch a plot synopsis.
Boom. A video essay, an analyzing
right.
show.
10, 20 minute.
Be curious.
Yes.
And that will help. Don't so much.
Yes. Don't try to genuinely criticize media if you don't understand it.
Absolutely. Boom. There we go. Wait, snaps for that.
Yes. There is.
Yes.
Yes. There's an episode. I don't know if people are familiar with Fillmore. Mm-hmm. Fillmore is a cop show parody, and there's an episode about. Do you know what Fillmore is?
Not my cup of tea, but I know what it is.
I love it. It's great. I wish it was on Disney Plus, but there's an episode about fandoms, and it's about two different fandoms, and one of them like broke a like fan art or something. I don't remember exactly. And throughout the episode, they're criticizing each other. I think what it is like one's about a space vampire, and the other one's about a werewolf mayor. And the one analogy I remember was like the vampire kids were like, "But all the elections are held during the full moon." And I was watching a analysis about that, and he was like, that's actually a really good plot hole, but you can't criticize it genuinely because they may have explained it. Mm-hmm. And then I think later in the episode, the werewolf kids are like, they're in space, what about the sun? And they're like, that's another good plot hole, but you can't genuinely criticize it because they all say like they haven't touched it. You can't genuinely criticize it if you don't understand it.
That's like the Stranger Things thing. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that because I probably talk about that for 100 years. But yeah, it's much easier to complain nowadays and to say, oh, it's not that deep.
I feel like people are a lot whiny.
Yeah, we're super whiny. So how about you watch an episode of the cartoon, watch the children's movie, and don't say it's stupid, don't say it's just for kids, and get actually the kids in your life to watch it as well. See if they resonate, etc. And have those conversations. Like, it doesn't have to be like what we just did, but it helps understand.
Right.
And it's going to help us like return to a place where we are placing importance in all of the media that we consume, but also especially what we're making for kids and paying attention to what kids are consuming, because it has a really huge impact on like how they develop. And that's basically like the storyline that we just like wanted to like cover today.
Here I thought.
That's just like what we were trying to say basically. So yeah, I don't know. Any closing thoughts?
Honestly, you know what? Here's a closing
watch
thought.
Cartoons.
Yeah, go watch a cartoon. Name a cartoon to watch.
People in the Age of Wonder Beast. That's my recommendation.
What is my
Netflix.
Recommendation? My recommendation. You know what? Watch Transformers Prime.
Yeah, watch Transformers. Oh, is that the new movie? Yes. No.
No. Transformers Prime is a show. No.
Yeah,
Hold on. Transformers 1. Watch Transformers 1. Literally.
Watch that.
It's we talked about it. You saw it, right?
Yes.
It's so good. Even if you're not into Transformers, genuinely, go watch it. You might become a fan. I know people who have never touched Transformers in their lives,
and they love it.
And they become Transformers fans
because it's just a vehicle
it's
for a
so
story.
good. I will say the marketing was abysmal.
Yeah, it was terrible. So that's probably why you didn't hear that again.
Yes.
But it was up for Oscar animated.
No, it didn't. I don't think it got anything.
It was up for something last year. Anyway, that was Cultists, guys.
It's so good.
Guys, it was so fire. We'll be trying to do this and covering different topics regarding
what was our parameter? At least
literacy.
Monthly?
Yeah, like monthly. With WZMB, and also I might post this on my channel. Yay! So thanks for listening. Comment down below. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, that stuff.
Smash that subscribe button. Comment down below.
Hit that bell. Smash that like button. And why don't you subscribe while you're at it?
Yeah. And comment down below your favorite piece of childhood media. And go watch a cartoon.
We won't read them. I'm kidding. I probably will when this goes on YouTube. Genuinely. Anyways.
Have a good day.